Hello, everyone. Happy spring. It is Monday, March the 21st, and I am excited to be back from our incentive trip to San Diego. Many of you have seen my pictures on Facebook. Josh and I just had a wonderful time and such a blessing and honor to be able to attend the incentive trip, and I'm looking forward to many of you that have shared with me that you plan to be on that incentive trip next year. So that will be really awesome. The next event we have coming up is, of course, going to be our national convention, July the 21st to 24th in Austin, Texas. If you have not registered or reserved your room at this point, I highly recommend that you get on that and do that and get your flight and reservations made. It is going to be an amazing event and a lot of new stuff being rolled out and a lot of our systems that are coming together. So I highly recommend you attend that event, and it's so fun to be around other people and to hear the stories of how people came to know about Take Shape for Life. And that's what's inspired this call today. I've already had a call with Joy and Kristen today and shared a little bit with them, and they've shared with me just some things that are on their hearts and minds. And so wanted to talk a bit about the Trilogy today. And one story I wanted to share that I met these two guys while I was at the Go Global conference a few weeks ago. I met them in the gym, and of course we were working out together. I didn't really learn their story until I saw them on the incentive trip, and I said, "Hey!" And it was one of those moments, like, you know, you have your clothes on, you have real clothes on, not workout clothes. So we were recognizing each other, and was able to spend some time and learn about them and their story. And both of the guys, they looked, you guys, like they were forever in the gym. They looked like they were healthy, fit individuals their whole life. And both of them had a weight loss story of 60 to 80 pounds. And when I friended them on Facebook and looked through their pictures, that they're people that, you know, when you meet someone and you didn't know that they used to be overweight, and then all you know them as is this new person, right? And so when you look at these pictures, what was happening for me is I kept seeing people that I know that look like that. Not overweight, but just the look in their eyes and the way that they're smiling and carrying themselves in their pictures before Take Shape for Life. And so that's really what impressed on my heart about this idea of leading with the Trilogy. And we've been sharing about that for years. When a lot of the presidential directors talk about being trilogists, that means being in that sweet spot between where you are, where your passion is, and your healthy body, mind, and finances, and where that sweet spot is being a trilogist. And so these guys, one of the guys has quit his job. He's come home. His wife has come home. They've moved to where they want to move. And they've been in the business 2 years. They have small kids, and it's a really cool thing. The one guy, he lost his daughter to cancer 6 years ago. She had leukemia. And this trip, these are the cool things. So the incentive trip comes up, and 6 years ago, when she was dying, of course, she wanted to have her picture taken for Make-A-Wish right in San Diego. And so they went to that same spot and revisited their memory of one of their last memories of their daughter. And it was just like, these are stories that you would just never know, right, when you meet someone in the gym. And so it's important to go to events and to learn about other people and their stories, because what it does is it helps you think about people in your life that you just don't know. You don't know what's going on in their lives. And I wanted to ask Kristen if she would share one of the things that we talked about today of the prayer that was on her heart when Joy came into her life. So Kristen, would you share that?
Well, I just was to a point where I was desperate. And I got on my knees and I prayed for God to please help me, send me some sign or something that could help me with my health and with my weight, because I was so incredibly miserable. And a few weeks later, I went on a retreat, and I had known Joy, and she spoke at the retreat. And that was it. That was my sign. And, immediately went right up to her afterwards and said, I need your help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I needed was, I needed that help.
That's so awesome. And that there are story after story like that. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing that. Who is praying today? I know when I first started getting to know Susan Palace well, she told me that one of the things that she does every morning is just she prays that God would put in her path whoever needed her today. And so there are times I remember to do that and other times that I don't. But when we're really in alignment with why yes, it is a business, but there's a measure of understanding what it is that this is our business. It's also our passion. It's also a gift. There's just so many facets to what this opportunity is for each of us. And I wanted to share this picture that I found on Facebook. I'm going to do a screen share real quick for you guys to see this. But I thought this was so appropriate. There we go. There's this picture here that it's all these different facets about passion, mission, profession, and vocation. And, your great things that you're great at, that you love it, the world needs it, you're paid for it. And right in the middle where all of those intersect is your purpose. And so I thought that was a really great visual of what we have to offer and what we can do. And I'm happy to send this. I'll post this on our Facebook, our Team Shine page. But when you look at that, you can say, okay, how does what I have fit into this? And what exactly is my mission? What am I passionate about? There are things that are in our lives when we're starting to understand, yes, we want to help everyone, but there are certain types of people you feel more heart for. A certain type of person, like Sandy might have a special place in her heart for widows, for people who are struggling in that way, and the life that she's found by putting herself out there and gaining confidence through taking care of herself and her health. Her life has totally changed over the last 2 years, and it's been so fun to watch that. Also could be that people who are teachers or people subbing. I mean, for years, I remember one of the last times my mom stayed at my house, she was up like in the night waiting for sub jobs to come through on a text message. And I'm like, you never get any sleep. This is ridiculous. And she did what she had to do. And thanks to Take Shape for Life, she doesn't have to do that anymore. And so I wanted to open it up. I'm going to click stop screen share here. But I wanted to ask Sandy if you would share your wonderful news and inspire us all with what's kind of happened for you in your job.
Well, I have 2 weeks left of full-time in the so I'm going part-time in 2 weeks. And I'm only 2 days a week in the office. And so I have more time for Take Shape and life and more fun things that I do, cutting hair and tutoring. So I'm very excited about that.
So awesome. Congratulations. So that's so awesome, right? That's what Take Shape provides us, the opportunity to do what we love and what matters most to us. And, I love personal training, and some people would say, oh, can't you wait until you can get out of personal training? And my answer is no. I will probably always personal train on some level and in some way, because that's something that I love. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I love it. And Take Shape for Life provides us the opportunity. And so who in our life has that need? So we want to look for what people are needing. And when we're sharing, there's a couple things that we do as health coaches, right? We acquire and support clients, and we acquire and support coaches. And so if our business could be simplified, that's the way we would simplify it, right? So when we're looking at acquiring clients and supporting clients, we're looking for who needs what we have to offer. But every person that we talk to that becomes a health coach is a client as well, because we all have areas of improvement around our healthy body and our healthy mind. So when we're moving forward in that and working on our healthy finances as coaches, people who become coaches are clients as well. So truly what we're looking for are people who need what we have to offer. And how do we find that? It's really through asking a lot of questions. And I know that that's one thing that Kristen and I have been talking about. She has people sitting in a chair and asking, with doing hair, when we can make it all about them. A couple years ago at convention, it was said it's important for us to be interested and not be interesting. And we all love to be the center of attention, me in particular. But we love to talk and it's super fun. But what's even more fun is to see someone light up when you're interested in them and what is going on with them, and their world is so important to us, because what we're looking for is not how can I make this person my client, but we're looking for how can what I have to offer enrich your life. And it may or may not be for them. And that's kind of what frees us, and not being attached to the outcome, is to be able to share from a place of, I have a gift that I want to share with you, and it may or may not be for you, but it may be for someone in your life. And we never know the people who have prayed the prayer that Kristen did, that she was saying, Lord, send me someone or something. I need something that's going to change my future. And so who are we to hold that back because we're scared of what someone's going to think about us, or being annoying, or, it really has to do with putting our hand over our heart, keeping our heart in the right place, and coming from a place of empathy around there. That's what the importance of stories is. And so I want to go ahead and ask Joy if she would share her story of why she decided to become a health coach, and a little bit about her and her background, because we've been talking about getting to know each other and our team a bit more so that we can utilize each other as resources. So Joy, take it away.
So I'm so excited. Kristen and I are here together. We're working on our maps together and having fun and just enjoying growing our team and being a team. So I think that even though I didn't realize this at the time when I got into this business almost 2 years ago, because of my husband, the piece of the Trilogy for me, which I didn't know Trilogy back then, and we weren't talking about Trilogy back then, right, Nicole? And that's kind of a new thing. But the piece that it's filled for me first was the community part and the connecting. And I had said a little prayer and had asked God, God, please bring some new friends into my life. I mean, Delaney had left to go to school, and I was feeling a little bit like, just sort of to myself in a way, and I'd been concentrating a lot on that. And I really wanted to have some more people in my life. And so this has been an answer to that prayer for me and for that piece of the Trilogy. Obviously, the very first piece was my husband getting healthy, and he had been to his doctor. And his doctor said, if you don't lose 35 or 40 pounds, next time I see you, I'm going to put you on cholesterol medicine. So I trusted Nicole. I had met her at Lifetime. She had started her own at Shine. We'd stayed connected. I knew she was doing something through Facebook, but I really didn't know what it was. And I said, well, Robert, I want to go talk to Nicole, because I don't know what she's doing, but I trust her, and I want to hear what she has to offer. And so we went. She told him he wasn't going to need to exercise. He was going to eat 5 to 6 times a day. He was going to feel good. And he said, here's my credit card, sign me up. And we ordered food that day, and so I saw the program from the other side. I wish he would have told me there's a quick start guide in there, because I'm texting Nicole, can he have this vegetable or that vegetable? And if I would have known there was a quick start guide, it would certainly would saved us a lot of time. So that would be one suggestion. If you have a husband whose wife is, you need to get her involved. Okay. first tip of the day. And so he lost 35 pounds in 12 weeks. He was happy. I was happy because he looked really good and he was feeling good. And I had already gone over to Shine and kind of connected there, working out. And I kept telling Nicole, hey, Robert's friend so-and-so wants to do what he's doing. And she said, Joy, this is what you do. This is how you live. This is what you love. This is your passion. Now you have a vehicle to do that as well. You need to be coaching these people. And I'm like, you're right. I need to be coaching them. The one thing I will say, that after having a conversation with a potential coach, Steve Howard, on Friday, it didn't occur to me until that conversation, and I said this from my heart, and I don't know why Nicole, maybe she can enlighten us on this in a little bit, but I don't know why 3 years earlier she hadn't called me and said, Joy, could this fit for you? Just exactly what she just said. I'm not sure if the timing would have been right then. I'm thinking the timing was perfect, and that's when I said, yes, I'll do this, no questions asked, jumped in and went gone. Maybe I would have had to think about it 3 years prior. But I don't want us to hesitate to share this with people, because as I told Steve, what if Nicole had called me 3 years ago? I mean, now I wouldn't just be an executive director. Maybe I'd be an integrated national director. I mean, I would have been that much further along, or going along in Take Shape for Life. So I really wish that this had been shared with me sooner. So that's why I'm saying, you never know who's praying for what. Now, I was praying for friends at the time. Now all 3 pieces of that trilogy have been addressed, because now I can contribute financially, which makes me feel good to contribute financially to my family, which I haven't done for 20 years because I stayed home and I was a mom. So I like being able to know that I can continue to grow this income, and it can be something that's significant for us. And, I started this at 53 years old. So it's kind of fun to have this new adventure. Mm-hmm. And I'm not 20 years old, I'm starting something totally new, and it's exciting. And I love being a part of all of that it is, that our team is. And so let's go out and know confidently that this truly is a gift, and that there's not one single person that we don't encounter every day that can't benefit from 1, 2, or all 3 pieces of that, of healthy mind, healthy body, or healthy finances. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and excited to see what else is going to happen, where we're going to go next. And I'm excited about convention. We're going to be at the incentive trip next year. We wanted to be there this year and probably could have, but I'm telling you, this has made all the difference for me in being able to map and being able to visualize where I am and where I want to go and how to get there. I think it's been very helpful. I think Kristen would agree.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about building our team and building Team Shine and continuing to have a lot more fun in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Joy. That was awesome. And I know Molly has a comment, but I did want to respond to, well, Molly, I'll let you make a comment and then I'll share. I've already unmuted.
I love that sharing what Joy just shared. And I have a bit of a different twist that I don't know if any of you have ever heard this part of the story for me, but I think it speaks to the topic around offering the trilogy. When I went on program, I'm actually coming up on 7 years. April 13th will be 7 years for me. And I went on program, and 2 weeks into my program, I asked my health coach about health coaching. I said, I want to do this. And she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really. So I started health coaching. And as I got further into my health coaching and she was more comfortable with me and I was more comfortable with her, we were several months into it, we had this very discussion around offering health coaching. And I said, so what prompted you, like about me becoming a health coach? I raised my hand. Does that happen very often? And she said, no, it doesn't happen very often. And I have to be honest with you, I didn't really know how to respond because her coach did not think I would make a good health coach. And so she was reluctant to offer me the health coaching opportunity. Okay. I think I'm a pretty good health coach. And she is no longer active, in the business, nor is he. Okay. So I'm here 7 years later. I'm holding on. I'm doing what I want to do because I want to do it. So the reason I share that story is because it reminds me to not ever have judgment around what a good health coach looks like and who can make something of this opportunity, because you never know what someone's why is. So that's really just what I wanted to share. It's just another perspective.
That's awesome. It's so true. And Joy, you're absolutely right. We often wonder what if, but I do believe, like you said, there are times that, we worry about what we're going to say or if someone's going to be ready. But I truly believe you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person, right? Because if they're ready, Susan Pallas introduced the program to me a year before I was introduced to it by a crazy dietitian who is no longer in the business, who introduced me to Molly. And it was me meeting Molly sitting at her table that had that connection as to why I did it. I think of Sonia, and if Sonia and I hadn't connected that day at the networking event, and actually I was more interested in integrative nutrition. So I was talking to her because of that. And here she's like, well, I want to do what you do. I'm like, what? Really? So you just never know what someone needs or who you're going to talk to, what's going on in their life, what piece of this someone needs. All we're to do is to be obedient in the time that it comes up and really think about those things as far as who you're talking to. A couple years ago, Angela brought back, I think from a training, she keeps in mind five people that to keep on your list is the busiest. These are your 5 people that to call or to reach out to. The busiest person a real estate agent, a hairdresser, someone in the PTA, and your neighbor. And so if you run through that list over and over again, you'll talk to enough people. And ultimately, as a goal, it's great if we try and make 5 connections daily with people, whether it's, and it doesn't, not necessarily a program presentation per se, but 5 connections, 5 relationships that we're instigating in some way. That's called the 5 and 1, right? So if I make 5 reaches in a day, hopefully that results in one sort of income producing activity to move my business forward. And so when we do that and rinse and repeat, we'll continue to fill our funnel, we'll continue to grow our business, but most importantly, we'll continue to reach America and help people get healthy. And so that's ultimately why we do this, getting healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances, and really helping people move forward in this amazing vehicle that we have, this tool to reach others with health and hope. And so that is going to conclude our meeting for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I will, of course, post this on Team Zoom or on the Team Shine page, the Zoom call on Facebook, and would love for any comments or questions that you think of that we weren't able to cover. And I look forward to hearing from y'all soon.